I'm Claire Richardson. Thank you very much for joining us. We begin with some breaking news coming in from the United States, where a bridge has collapsed into a river after being hit by a large ship. We're going to take a look now at the moment when the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore came down, captured on a live web feed. The fire department says it is responding to a mass casualty incident here. At least 20 people believed to be in the water, along with multiple vehicles. We also know the bridge was hit by a Singapore-flagged container ship. For more on this breaking news story, I'm very pleased to be joined by my colleague, Lars Halter, in the studio. Hi, Lars. You've reported from the U.S. over the years. I'm wondering what else you can tell us about this incident at this point.
Well, actually, we don't have too many details. If it's clear, of course, because it's just happened a couple of hours ago. And you've already mentioned what ship we have here. It's called the Dali. It's a cargo ship that was going under Singapore flag. But what's really interesting, what we do know is that the ship had problems, technical problems, before impact. We can see that on the video. If you watch the video for a little longer, approaching the moment of the collapse, we can see just about a minute before this happened, the lights went out on the ship. There must have been some electrical outage there. We also see black smoke coming out of the ship. So that's all about a minute before impact. So we can, at this point, really only speculate of what happened. But there was definitely major technical difficulties. And it can be assumed, I would think, if you look at how the ship moves straight towards that main pillar that is holding up the main span of the bridge, that maybe it was just not possible to navigate anymore at all. Because if you look at the video in detail, it's heading straight for that pillar. And the bridge, of course, as we can see, immediately collapsed upon impact. And yeah, taking cars with it. It happened, I want to say, at least not at the worst moment, because just minutes before this happened, there was a lot more traffic on the bridge with regularly trucks going by or so. This is a major route, of course. And just the moment of collapse, there was, as far as I can tell, no trucks driving over. There were still vehicles, and as you mentioned already, there's about 20 people they're looking for.
And we are looking at live footage here of the aftermath of that incident in Baltimore, Maryland. I mean, it's just about an hour outside of Washington, D.C. We saw on the map there as well. And Lars, you hinted at it, but can you tell us a little bit more about the role of this bridge? What does it connect? How important is it in the area?
Yes, it is, of course, an extremely important bridge, because if you look at the location, Baltimore, that is, of course, the greater metropolitan area around Washington, D.C. It is a street system here, the I-95, I-695. That system of streets is connecting the entire eastern seaboard. So it's basically connecting all the states and all the cities from Maine in the north all the way down to Miami. So this is definitely one of the most important thoroughfares through the United States. And I do not have any current numbers how much traffic was on that particular bridge, but it is the most important connection there, especially for cargo, whereas most of the passenger traffic goes through the tunnels there. There's also two tunnels that are a little further inland, maybe about a mile or so. If you look at the map, really, you can very easily see too, and I know it from experience because I've driven on that bridge and through the tunnels there on my ways usually to Washington, how dense traffic is there. So with that bridge gone, we will have major traffic problems there, especially cargo problems, for many years, of course.
Well, Lars, thank you so much for joining us in the studio with the latest of what we know. We'll, of course, be bringing our viewers up to speed as we get more information on the collapse of this Baltimore bridge. That's DW's Lars Halter. Thank you.